Hey, what's up, folks? How's it going? This is Waj. Hope you guys are all doing well and having an awesome summer. So for the past couple of weeks, I've been testing out the new 2DS XL from Nintendo. And what I want to do over here is actually compare it against the 3DS XL. A lot of similarities between the two. Obviously, the 2DS XL has a nice little price cut. So if you guys are interested in perhaps seeing what the core differences are between the two, this is a perfect video for you. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, the design on the 2DS XL is quite different from the new 3DS XL. In terms of actual physical dimensions, you'll see that the new 3DS is actually a little bit taller than the 2DS XL, measuring about 93.5 millimeters in terms of height, versus you're looking at 86 millimeters on the 2DS. Basically, in terms of width and thickness, they're both about the same, about 160 millimeters in terms of width, and about 21.5 millimeters in terms of overall thickness. There's also a pretty big difference in terms of weight. The new 3DS XL weighs around 261 grams versus you're looking at 329 grams on the 3DS. That's a pretty big difference when you're carrying the thing all day with you in your pocket, and certainly when you're using it in the hand as well. Now, apart from the external cosmetic changes on the shell itself, when you take a look at inside the new 2DS XL, due to the fact that it's shorter than the 3DS, the bezels are actually a little bit thinner on the top and bottom a portion of the screen, making the displays actually look a little bit larger, even though they're the exact same size as the previous generation. But the camera has been relocated to the middle portion of the bezel, as well as the home button has been relocated to the left side of the device. The control configuration is pretty much identical. The analog, the D-pad, the A, B, X, Y buttons are pretty much in the exact same position and also feel fairly identical as well. Now, the shoulder buttons have a bit of a curve to them compared to the 3DS, which may make them a little bit more easier to press, but really not a huge difference coming from the 3DS in my opinion. Now, if you take a look at the speaker configuration, you'll notice that the speakers are actually located at the bottom portion of the new 2DS XL versus on the 3DS XL, they were located at the top. Some people say that the sound isn't as optimal, but you can always plug in your headphones and not be really concerned with that. Now, another concern is actually regarding the stylus. On the 2DS XL, it's actually a little bit smaller than the 3DS, which might be a little bit uncomfortable for some people that have larger hands. Beyond those notions, one advantage that the new 2DS has is that it has a large cover, which actually contains the game cartridge as well as the SD card slot. So you can now easily swap in and out your SD cards. Before, on the new 3DS, you actually had to unscrew the back, and plus with the cover, any chance of the gaming cartridge coming out is also greatly reduced as well. Now, as we mentioned before, both units actually have the exact same screen dimensions. There is a little bit of resolution difference. Obviously, you're taking a look at a 2D screen versus a 3D screen, and there is effectively double the resolution on the horizontal plane in the 3DS. So it actually has a native resolution of 800 by 240 versus 400 by 240 on the 2DS. Now, obviously, you're not going to get any more sharpness out of the 3DS. Those extra horizontal pixels are there to facilitate the 3D aspect of the screen. So in sharpness and overall color rendition and pretty much the quality in 2D to 2D mode on both devices are pretty much identical. There is a little bit difference in terms of brightness. The 2DS XL seems a little bit brighter, which might be nice for playing games in kind of a brighter environment and outside environment. The lower screen is pretty much identical. There's no real kind of distinctions between both of the units based on my experience thus far. Now, inside both handhelds, you pretty much have the exact same internal specs when it comes to the CPU and GPU configuration, and both have the same amount of system memory as well as video memory. So there's no real internal differences when it comes to gaming performance and overall speed of using the device. In terms of wireless connectivity, both have 802.11g and NFC capability, so there's no real upgrade there. Curiously, both have the same camera configuration, both inner and outer. So the inner camera is identical VGA resolution, and even though the 2DS XL is a 2D device, it still has the capability of shooting 3D photos thanks to the dual camera configuration, specifically for sharing purposes with 3DS XL users. Now, cool thing about the 2DS is that Nintendo actually gives you the AC charger, unlike the 3DS where that is a separate purchase, something that is really annoying to a lot of new 3DS XL owners. And in terms of actual battery life itself, you're looking at a little bit smaller capacity on the 2DS XL, 1300 milliamp hours, versus you have a 1750 milliamp hour battery on the 3DS XL. Both give you around 3.5 to 7 hours of battery life on 3DS games, and if you play DS games, you might get a little bit better battery life. Just depends on which games you're playing and how high you have the screen brightness, and if you're running any kind of applications in the background. So generally speaking, one device is not going to give you better battery life than the other. They're both going to be pretty much on par with each other. Just keep in mind that the nice thing is you do have the AC charger included on the 2DS versus it's not the case on the 3DS XL. Now, when it comes to pricing all these devices, now here we have a breakdown of everything that's available on the DS line, starting with just the standard non-clamshell version of the 2DS starts around $79 versus the new 2DS XL starts around $149, and you're looking at $199 for the new 3DS XL in its current form and version. But besides that, guys, that's really it. Definitely love to hear your thoughts and opinions about the new 2DS XL. I think it's a great value and probably the better overall console compared to the 3DS. Certainly some people do like that 3D aspect, but in most regards, it's certainly kind of a gimmick in my opinion, and not really a functional thing that's going to enhance the gaming experience that much. But I'd love to hear your thoughts, and again, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. That really helps us out. Thank you so much for watching our channel. Love your continuing support, and we'll see you next time.